The Bombay High Court has cleared the decks for the 5,000 crore rupees Dharavi Redevelopment Project. And this is, of course, being seen as a big win for the city of Mumbai, because over 600 acres of prime land in the heart of the city is currently bursting at the seams as a slum. This project has been in the making for around 20 years now. And of course, it was made very famous by the Oscar-winning film Slumdog Millionaire. Now, joining me now are my guests, Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani. He is the chairman of NAREDCO, which is the National Real Estate Development Council. Dr. Niranjan, you are an advocate of a slum-free Mumbai. You have said so many times now. Is a slum-free Mumbai actually possible when you look at Dharavi today?
Thank you, Sandhya, for inviting me. It's a dream come true. I was a co-signatories in the slum-free Mumbai first report, which Balasaheb Thackeray had done. Mr. Afzal Purkar was the chairman, and I was a part of that committee for the purposes of creating elimination of slums in Mumbai city. I do believe that Dharavi becomes one of the most important and large projects which will take the issue of clearing of slums of Mumbai to the next level. And I'm glad that finally the High Court has given the green signal, and actually we are going to see the light of day of this project. Extremely important, very large project. But remember one thing, this is only less than 10% of the total slums in Mumbai. So once we get this project off the ground, there are other projects could also be taken up on a similar or any other model. There are several models for the purposes of slum clearance, but this will be a benchmark of on how we are supposed to do it and how we can take it off. And second, it's a joint venture with the state government and the Adani Group. So I think it will be a learning curve both for the government as well as for the developers, private developers, for how such schemes can actually become effective. But more especially, I think Mumbai will completely change. A new center of gravity will be created in mid-Mumbai. And I think this was absolutely needed. We could not be having the infamous name of having the maximum number of slums, and Dharavi being one of the largest slums in the whole of Asia, at least, if not the world.
You designed an integrated township in Powai. Out of pretty much nothing. How different is Dharavi as a redevelopment project as compared to the Hiranandani township that you built in Powai?
Very different. Basically, we had a greenfield land which was far away from the madding crowd. So we had to create the entire access, the infrastructure from zero to what it is today. Number two, the demand in terms of it at the time, 35 years ago, when we took it up, the demand was just trickling in. We could hardly sell large number of flats, and the price, of course, was not competitive. Under the present circumstances, Dharavi has a very, very big advantage, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to do a project of this size. So we have all the components which are there. We have a large, strong component of infrastructure from north, south, east, west. So the connectivity from all the four sides is available today. Number two, you have metro lines which are connecting, you have the railway stations which are connectivity, you have the coastal road and other roads coming, the one which connecting to Atal Bridge on this side, you have the Eastern and Western Express on the north side, connectivity to BKC is also available. So the entire infrastructure which was not there in Powai is available in Dharavi today. So what is the real challenge? The real challenge is people. And I think that is the one major issue which has been settled, which is that you are going to rehab 100% of the people who stay there. Up till now, in all the slum schemes, the challenge was those who are eligible and those who are not eligible. In this case of Dharavi, a change has taken place in the policy wherein the eligible and ineligible both will be entitled to get rehab components. And I think this is a welcome change, because then the chances of being opposed by the people who are living there is going to be eliminated. That's one. The second challenge. The second challenge is that it is not only residential, it's a vibrant economy. Dharavi does $1 billion worth of business within the place. It has industry, it has commerce, it has trade, it has all the things that you can imagine in the center of Mumbai. And I think that vibrancy of the trade and how we will be able to handhold these people is going to be a challenge. Of course it will be, but the fact is that the business will continue. So I think that's the challenge which development will take place. The next important challenge is speed of construction. You can't put people on transit for too long. And fortunately, we have now the railway land, wherein a large number of people would be accommodated in projects which can be done. And new technology is available for faster speeds of construction. So the Adani Group must get into and incorporate the fastest technology for the purposes of fast construction, so that these multi-story towers wherein we are going to do rehab can be put up as fast as possible. And now new technologies are available, and for the size and scale which Dharavi is going, I'm sure it will be easier for them to incorporate better technology than what is existing today in the city of Mumbai. The other side, which is the demand side, is huge and humongous. Fortunately, India is growing very fast. We are the fastest growing nation in the world. The real estate is growing at the pace of 15%. India is growing at 6% economy. So all that and more, as far as the saleability of apartments or commercial premises, etc., in this area is going to be there. So the only question really comes up is how will the social infrastructure of the area really do that? And we would welcome that aspect of it at some point of time to be pointed out. But if the first and second is done, I'm sure the focus on the third will also be met.
Well, I think you've just wrapped up the entire project in a very beautiful nutshell, Dr. Hiranandani. Thanks for that. You've done a huge township before, and you are an enthusiast you've been advocating for a slum-free Mumbai. So from your perspective, how do we avoid the vertical slums like the SRAs? And how do we ensure that, the life for Dharavi residents is better?
Sandhya, this is no secret. We've done it all over the world. We built, Hiranandani, my son, built the tallest residential tower in the world in Dubai, 90-storied, and the quality of life is excellent. Redevelopments have taken place in China, in Singapore, and various other places in the world. But I think both mentioned very clearly, and I take Shishir's point very strongly when he said the word mindful. I think that carries a very big meaning. We are not talking about square footage of land or property or availability of this. Can they get school? Can they get water supply?
Hospitals?
Can they be able to get and pay for the lifts? Can they work towards to see that their community is well taken care of? Is their social obligations also being taken care of? We have to be mindful, about the success of the scheme. Yes, because that is imperative, and Dharavi will become a benchmark of what we can possibly do. But if we are mindful for it, we can be an example for the entire world. We can show the world that we have succeeded where everybody else have not succeeded. And I think this could be a good benchmark. Number two, a question is raised not only of the fact of Dharavi, but the rest of the city. I have an idea that we should work simultaneously with the rest of the city, simultaneously along with Dharavi, and be able to remove the entire balanced slums of Mumbai in the next 5 to 10 years. That should be the target. We can't wait forever for slums to be eliminated. And now we have a third Mumbai being created across the harbor. So we need to think of a holistic solution for slums, A, with Dharavi, B, for all the rest of the slums, and the time to do it is now. I remember the time we were talking about 20 kilometers of metro to be constructed. When we discussed it with Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, when he was a new chief minister, We started with 250 kilometers of metro. We ended up by adding 300 kilometers will be added to Mumbai in the next 2 years. So we have done big projects. The Atal Bridge is definitely one other thing. 22,000 crores, 16.5 kilometers across the sea. Then the coastal road, that's another one. So today we have the ability to be able to clear 100% of the slums in Mumbai in the next 10 years. And Dharavi could be a stepping stone to that. The challenges which are there are people. That's the most important thing. We have to be mindful of the needs of the people, not just provide them shelter. Shelter they have in Dharavi. But what we need is that the quality of life and the future of the city of Mumbai should be great. We need to create an iconic situation, second to none in the world, which will be a great example. That is what I expect will happen in Dharavi, and then followed by that, the rest of Mumbai. But I'm praying that all this happens quickly. I will be 75 in 2025. I want in the next 5 to 7 years before the end of life to see that something which I was participant to creating a policy on slum is really implemented, not only in Dharavi, but the whole city of Mumbai.